SmallBizPro, so we grow. Using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, folks, we're going to have an amazing show. This is our very special April show. This is Financial Literacy Month, and we've got some heavy hitters as guests here on the show today. But before we bring in our guests, I want to talk to my co-host. So, co-host, how you doing today?
I am wonderful. It's April, beginning of spring. It's great. It's raining a little bit. We had Easter in March, which is usually a kickoff of spring. But hey, Easter roams through the calendar year after year after year. It finds its place. Someone asked me that question. It's like, wait a minute. Easter moves. And so I did a little research. And so Easter actually appears on the first full moon after the equinox. That's why
really?
It's never on the first Sunday after the first full moon on the Sunday after the equinox. So that is why it is never on the same day.
See, I never paid attention to that.
Yeah, so that's why. So, it was a big thing during Easter last week because everyone kept saying that it was the Transgender Awareness Day and that Biden somehow or another magically put Transgender Day and Easter on the same day. But actually, Biden had absolutely nothing to do with it. It's all about the sun.
Everybody lost their ever-loving mind.
So just to bring that to everyone's attention, Easter has always been on a different Sunday, either in March or in April. It has never been considered. And the last time it was on March 31st was 11 years ago. So a little trivia.
That's amazing, Cole. So you've been tracking and monitoring this thing. I haven't. So.
Well, the brain is a marvelous thing.
That's marvelous.
It's a marvelous thing. It is a better computer than any computer that exists. And so if you use it properly and you learn to research it, use it to research, you learn some incredible information. And so as my mother used to say, don't open your mouth and let people know you stupid.
I love that.
So think before you open your mouth, so everybody won't get to know that you stupid. No, that's what my mama used to tell me. So think before you speak. So anyway, Easter was last Sunday, and it was great. Family eating well. It was awesome. So now we're in April.
Yeah.
And ready to go. We have two great guests, and actually our whole calendar for the Business Zone is full of some amazing guests. So excited about that. Anyone can go over to our YouTube channel and go over to our Facebook page, and you can see who our guests are going to be for the rest of the month. And so we're excited about that. It is Financial Literacy Month. And so, and as our field correspondent, and he may have popped on, but this weekend is his wife's birthday. So we want to say happy birthday to Faye Sneed, who is Greg Sneed's wife. Her birthday was yesterday, but he always says it's financial, not just financial literacy, is Financial Consciousness Month. Yes. And being knowledgeable about your money month.
That's right. Well, I want to say happy birthday to Mrs. Greg Sneed out there.
Yeah, so Mrs. Greg Sneed celebrated her birthday yesterday. And so we want to wish her well. So April is a month of lots of awarenesses. So it just depends on what you want to be. So it's true. April is Autistic Awareness Month. It is Financial Literacy Month. It is also awareness for stress. So making sure that you
I definitely need that awareness, man.
You need that awareness too.
Yesterday, man, I really was all stressed out. I almost killed my neighbor.
Well, life is short, man. We have to be careful, and we have to take care of ourselves. So
yes.
Money means nothing if you are not here to enjoy.
That is true. That is so true, man. That
means
is so
absolutely true. Nothing. So we want to make sure that we take care of ourselves. In this throughout everything. So so there are a number of awarenesses in the month of April, more so in April than any other month. We have child abuse prevention. We have actually, it's superhero month.
Really? Hey, my co-host, my superhero. It's your month.
Well, my month and many other months, there are many superheroes. Those of us that have parents, is actual National Minority Health Month. So,
wow.
So these are some of the awarenesses. So you guys, whatever pertains to you and your population, please make sure you're aware of it. And
man, that's good to know, man. I didn't know that, Cole. So now I'll document that. I'll make a note of that. And,
right. So on a National Minority Health Month and National Stress Awareness Month and Move More Month, and this pertains to you, co-host.
Yes.
Take steps to a longer, healthier national life. So, actually, April 3rd was Walking Day month.
Oh wow! Man, I'm gonna have to pay attention.
And walking is the most versatile form of exercise because you can do it anytime, day or night or anywhere. So for those of you that have been stressed out and have high blood pressure issues or have diabetes or any chronic illness or weight concerns, then you actually just need to get up and move. Move.
I'm gonna have to get up there, man. I'm probably gonna have to get out there and walk to San Bernardino, where Mr. Chairman is one of our guests here today. But for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. If the show is great and amazing, then we'll extend it to 5 p.m. But this is what we do, guys. Our show is about small and micro businesses. We provide resources, information, advice, coaching, and we also bring on very special guests on this show that can provide resource and information to you, the entrepreneur or small business. So I would like for you guys to tune into our show every week if you can, because there's always something new. And if you can't do that, just go to our channel on YouTube, and we've got over 700 videos on there of shows that we've done. And these shows are usually on either certification, either financial literacy, bookkeeping, accounting, procurement, how to become certified, how to obtain a contract, how to develop your capability statement, how to run your podcast, how to do some marketing, anything to that effect. And we've even had people on this show who teach you how to write a book. So if you're thinking of writing a book, guys, this is a channel you want to be in. And here's our field correspondent right now, Mr. Greg Sneed. He said on April 3rd, I told a couple of people I'd take a walk. So he never really did it, but he told me.
But he knew about it. He knew about that date. So, Greg, we actually wished your wife, we just wished Faye a happy birthday. So I hope you guys had a great time yesterday. And so on our behalf, the Business Zone, wish her a happy birthday for us. And I hope you guys had a great time celebrating her birthday yesterday. And and Greg, hey, since you're here, we'd like you to take out the rest of our month on being our guest to do financial literacy for us. So
that's right.
You can let us know if that's something you'd like to do off screen. But if that's your thing, if you would like to share with the people on how to manage their money and keep their money, we'd love to have you.
And for those of you who are watching this show or you're listening while you're driving, just remember our two amazing guests here today will have a lot of information. And if you want to ask them any question or ask us any question, just put it in the chat. We'll be happy to provide you some response. So, if you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, you're on YouTube Live or any other platform to that effect, and you can hear us or see us, then just put your comment in the chat. We'll be happy to provide you some information. And co-host, you want to tell them how to go ahead and subscribe, how to connect with YouTube with us on YouTube?
Yeah, so you guys can go over to our YouTube channel, which is The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you can hit our subscribe button. We welcome you to do that. It is absolutely free. And the more subscriptions we have, the closer we get to monetizing, because during Financial Literacy Month, it's all about the cheddar.
That's right, guys.
The Benjamins. So.
That's right, guys. Remember, it's free 99. Okay, it's free
right,
99.
Exactly.
It doesn't cost you a thing.
You can actually take a picture of the of the QR code to subscribe that way, or just go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate that, and also hit the like button. It helps us move up in the with our SEOs, the search engine optimization. We would appreciate that as well. Did you have a good week other than the fact that you had a little health scare there, Gilbert?
Oh, man. My week, what did I do? There's always so many things going on. I had some RFPs I had to do. And one of my colleagues at the HCSB, we had to bid on a contract over at OCTA, Orange County Transit Authority, and that kind of put us in a spin cycle there, because we're going back and forth trying to get information. That's how RFPs are, though. Rakiyah knows that. The chairman knows that. They've both bid on contracts. So they know that when you're doing RFPs, you're responding to RFPs, there's always crazy things. You have your checklist of items that you're supposed to complete, but then for some reason, one or two items, end up skipping you. Oh, dang, I thought I had that. Where's those resumes for the employees? That type of thing. So we have to go back and forth and try to get that done. But, we finally got it done, and, and it was okay. And then yesterday, I had that little health scare situation that scared the hell out of me. Man, I thought my life was over, man. I was like, oh man, no.
Well, if there's nothing else that will get you up and moving and making sure you take control of your health, it's a scare. So I want you to make sure you do that, Miss co-host, because we want you to stay here. Every one of us here on this channel want you to remain with us. You bring such value to us and to the business community. So please start taking care of your health, sir.
I appreciate you, co-host. I really, that means a lot to me, man. I remember when I had my COVID, man, you were there for me, and I really appreciate that. And then yesterday, I woke up, man, my right hand was like a noodle. It wouldn't move at all. I'm going, what the hell? Then my right foot, the same thing. I'm trying to walk.
Yeah,
so then I call the president of my association, and I'm trying to talk to him. I'm slurring my words. It's like, so he said, what the hell is wrong with you? I said, I don't know, man, because I'm there trying to, explain things to him. I said, man, maybe I'm having a mini stroke here. So when I checked it out, man, it was a mini stroke. I'm going, shoot. So immediately I ran downstairs, grabbed my dumbbells, and start trying to work out with it. Man.
There you go. That's a flag. So do what you have to do, co-host, to make sure you stay well. In fact, I got up this morning first thing and I started exercising. I thought about you, so I exercised on your behalf. So movement is important. So let's make sure we take care of ourselves. But I thought of you. I went to an event on Thursday, and everybody, we're kind of you go to the supermarket and people are masked up, especially older people. And I'm like, okay. I just kind of stay away from people. But I went to an event on Thursday and everybody was masked up. I was like, okay, what's happening? And so somebody in that office had come in and 13 people had COVID. It's like, oh Lord, am I supposed to be here? Then that was on Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, I was doing the community briefing, and Dr. Vicki Mays, who is a epidemiologist over at UCLA, she came. And usually when she comes to the community briefing, she's coming to give us an update on the pandemic. I'm like, uh-oh. Wait a minute. Are we going back into COVID? What the heck? Why are you here?
Actually, we are, man. My doctor told me there's a new strain out there right now, man. Scared the heck out of me.
Yeah. So I got from Kaiser. That's who my healthcare. They sent me a notification that I need to come in for my I think it's the 5th immunization. So I'm going in next week to get mine. So let's just be careful out there, guys.
Yes,
we got a lot to do, and we need to be here to vote in November. So we need everybody's vote.
To vote, and we got a whole lot of small businesses to take care of, man. So.
Right, exactly. So we need you. We need every living, breathing body to be here to do that. So let's make sure we're here. Yeah. So we got a lot to go on. Let's get our first guest on, and then we can get our show on the road.
That's right. That's right.
Excited.
So tell our audience, co-hosts, about our first guest.
I'm first going to pull up our. Let me pull that stuff up so I can.
And in the meantime, while you're doing that, I'll give you my little knowledge of our first guest. Our first guest is Mr. Frank Montes, and. Man, if you don't know Mr. Frank Montes, you don't know anybody, man, because this man is instrumental. Everybody knows him, from Edison to the Water District to all of those folks, the politicians, small businesses, everywhere you go, man, they know Mr. Frank Montes. So if you don't know him, guys, now you know. You're meeting him here today.
All righty. So founder of Inland Body and Paint Center. He's the chairman of the Hispanic Coalition of Small Businesses. He's a board member of Farm Workers Justice, board member of the High Desert Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and past chair of the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So he began his career as an auto body shop helper, and he worked his way up to a third generation successful entrepreneur for over the 40 years. He's a proud father of 2 sons. He uses his skill as a professional advocate to impact change at the national, the state, and local levels to create a wide range of opportunities that will generate growth, education, and prosperity for families, businesses, and community. In his work as a business owner and entrepreneur, he uses his personal experience to identify with and understand his clients' needs and challenges. And we want to welcome you. You can tell the rest of us.
Before you do that, co-host, I want to say that when you're reading his bio right there,
what?
The only thing I can think of, you remember Cesar Chavez, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, that's what this reminds me of, because his background sounds very similar to Cesar Chavez, the farm worker thing, working in the community, helping people, doing all those selfless things for people, man. That's what Mr. Chairman does.
But what I like, and welcome, Frank. It's a pleasure to meet you, and that's what it takes for us, those of us that are in our communities as minority leaders, is to make sure we're there to support the community and the people that we love and the people that look like us, and to make sure that we're successful. So I commend you on all of your service, because I do the same thing with my organization. So I know the sacrifice that you make for your family in order to do what you do, because sometimes it's a selfless job, but it's an important job. Yeah. So thank you for all the work. If you don't get your flowers from anybody else, thank you for all the work that you're
getting it today
for your community. And welcome to the Business Zone.
Well, thank you for that great introduction, and thank you for having me on this wonderful podcast.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we want to know, the audience want to know who you are, Mr. Frank Montes, and why are you so valuable? Why are we just drooling over you? So go ahead and tell the audience who you are.
Well, Well, I have no clue why you're drooling over me, or I think it's probably my boyish good looks. Well, first and foremost, I am a father of two wonderful sons, a grandfather to two beautiful young girls. That's what I stand on. That's what gets me up every morning. That's what keeps me going. When life gets challenging, which is every day, I think of them. I think about the world we're going to leave behind. The challenges that they're going to have to face are tremendous. We have no clue what the future holds for our children, but one thing that we know, it's going to be tougher for them. It's becoming a difficult place to live in. And all I can do as a human being is try to do as much good as I can while I'm here, and leave the world, I said, a better place than what I came into it.
That's right.
Whatever I can do. I tell my friends, when I close my eyes for the last time, I think I'm going to be leaving with, what did I make a difference? Mm-hmm. Did I improve our community's lives? Was I a voice for the community that usually does not have a voice, or does not know how to use their voice, or believes that their voice does not matter? Right. That's what gets me going every day. And the challenges and like I said, the roadblocks that are put in front of us, that's what keeps me going.
And believe me, the small businesses in the community and the non-entrepreneurs, they also do appreciate you, because they've seen what you've been doing. You're a fighter. You've been fighting for their rights. You've been fighting for opportunity for them, and they appreciate that too. And that's why we love to have you in these programs. Mr. Chairman and I, we go way back. He brought me into the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce as the procurement chair. And man, we did some great things there. We ran through the whole state of California, helping Latino-owned businesses throughout the whole state. Man, that was such an amazing experience, because I went to places in California, I didn't even know there are Latinos there.
That didn't exist.
Central California, all over, man. Northern California, Sonoma County, all of those areas. So I really appreciate Mr. Chairman bringing me in. Right now, he launched, and he'll tell you this, he launched the Hispanic Coalition of Small Businesses, because there's a need in the area for that level of coalition. So, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind telling our audience, a little bit about how the idea and the concept came up for you to form the Hispanic Coalition of Small Business.
Well, definitely, and I'll give you some background on why I got involved with the chambers and became a small business advocate. When I was 7 years old, I would go to work with my dad and my uncle, on the weekends, and I would push a broom. That's how I started. It was an excuse for me to get out of the house. I didn't want to be home on a Saturday, so I would go hang out with them at our shop. Started working there every weekend. Then when I was 12 years old, I would spend my summers working, making whatever couple of bucks I could, to get paid. But it's a body shop. You're around cars, trucks. What 12-year-old, 8-year-old boy does not love that? So I worked with them till I was 17 years old. When I was 17, right before I turned 18, went to the Marine Corps. 2 years after that, when I came out, I opened up my own business. I took over the business that my dad had. Took it over. First shop that I had that I actually owned was in Azusa, and I remember that I would live at the shop because I couldn't afford an apartment or gas, as every dollar was going back into the business to pay the employees. I recall that I would sleep in the office, had a brand new couch. I was big time because I had a brand new couch. And it was in the middle of the night, felt water drops falling on me, and there was a hole in the roof, and was getting all wet. Had to move the couch, a bucket here, a bucket there, and that's how my first business started. My very own, with the second generation. I would take a shower at work. Like I said, there was a little fast food place right on the corner. That's where I would eat, because it was 24/7. I got my hustle on 7 days a week. Then from there I came to Fontana close to 39 years ago. My older son was born right around the same time, and again 24/7, 7 days a week. The not having the knowledge on how business truly works, because as small business owners, we just get in there and we're just hustling. We're grinding every day. We're keeping the lights on. Once you get the employees, you no longer work for yourself. That's why I see you're working for them, because you need to make sure that they get paid. They get paid, you leave with nothing. You're calling the light company to get an extension, the gas company, the phone. Dealt with all that, and just keep in mind that part of the business I had no knowledge of. I knew how to work. I knew how to hustle. I was amazing at that, but I never had the opportunity to learn the business aspects or what it took to get loan ready. I had no clue what certification was. None of that. That came later in the years. And I've told Gilbert this many times, and many of our small business colleagues, is that if I would have known then what I know now, I would be in a different position. I would not change anything that I've gone through, struggles, the ups and downs, because that's what led me to where I'm at today. But I don't want other small businesses and other members in our community to have the same challenges or struggles. We want to be there and guide them and build capacity for these businesses. So with that being said, that's my understanding of small businesses. I saw my dad working his tail off. When we were younger, we were on food stamps. I would remember him talking and saying, "Look, we need to get this extension. I'm gonna be late on the house payment. The car. Let's get an extension." And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. We're rich. You have your own business. You work for yourself. What are you talking about?" And that's how a lot of people perceive small businesses.
Yes.
Like, you live in a mansion, you got a yacht, you got a helicopter. No, that's not the way small business owners live. It's a challenge. So with that understanding of the challenges our small businesses have, with my business, I remember that someone from the gas company came over to my shop because we were trying to do business with the gas company. And she walked in and she says, "Have you ever been recognized by anybody?" I'm like, "We're a body shop. Who's going to recognize us?" "Well, any electeds, any chambers of commerce, any this." I'm like, "What is a chamber of commerce?" She goes, "You don't belong to one?" I said, "No." And she said, "Well, you need to find one, become a member, try to get certified, get your business out there and get some visibility." I said, "Okay." So I joined a chamber, and mind you, we're in the Inland Empire. The only Hispanic chamber of commerce I could find was Long Beach. Found them, became a member, then became a board member. So I was advocating for my business during that time as when I was in that chamber. And then I realized that, look, as I'm advocating for my business, I'm truly advocating for all small businesses.
Yeah.
Because we're advocating on policies, on regulations that are being passed that have unintended consequences for our small businesses. So I said, when I do my advocacy for our business, I'm just advocating for everyone. Let's go. And that's where the chamber world started for me. I was at the helm of many local chambers. Then I started with the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, was a board director, then vice chairman, then chairman. It was finished all 2 terms as vice chairman, 2 terms as the chair, and I was also at the national level vice chairman, which oversaw the Hispanic chambers throughout the United States, including Puerto Rico and Colombia. Finished that term, and I came back to Fontana, focused on my own business and spending time with my grandchildren. Then I started getting calls from electeds, community leaders, small businesses, saying that they needed more advocacy because a lot of organizations splintered and were working in silos, which, as all of you know, that never helps. They were all duplicating the same efforts and nothing was getting done. Not to say nothing was getting done, but there was a lot more that can be done together, working in unison. So we looked into, bringing an organization back together and brought in some like-minded individuals. Most of our board of directors now have never sat on a board. This is all new to them. They have experience in business, running large corporations, advocating for communities. So I brought them together under the Hispanic Coalition of Small Businesses because this was right after COVID. And after COVID, the world changed. Yeah. Business changed. Business, the face of small business changed because business now is not the same as it was 4 or 5 years ago. It's a totally different animal. So we said, look, if we're asking, and we're constantly telling our small businesses to pivot, prepare, be ready, be nimble, but yet the business organizations, the advocacy organizations were not. They weren't up to speed yet on the challenges that COVID brought to us. So we put the organization together, and we're forward thinking. Our responsibility is preparing our small business communities for the jobs of the future and opportunities of the future. So we're thinking 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. So that is the focus that this organization has, is not only focusing on helping businesses get started, but helping the businesses that are here already continue. Because we can sit back and say, look, we helped 20 businesses open. Great. But 50 and 100 are closing right behind us. Yeah. Where is the advocacy for the ones that are there now? So we're doing kind of both. But I think the importance of the organization is, how do we bring opportunities to our minority communities, our underserved communities, our communities of color? Because by the time we're at the table, it would be crumbs. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're not even getting that anymore. So we need to make sure that they are at the front of the line, and also advocating for them at the state, local, and federal level. Because a lot of people would say, well, Frank, business should not get mixed up with politics. I said, you know what? Everything's political. Everything's healthcare is political. Energy is political. Small business is political. And the small businesses do not understand, just like I didn't, was that you have to be engaged and involved. Now, I understand that a lot of our small businesses cannot do that. They don't have the wherewithal, but because they're too busy running their business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for you. Believe me, we're going to make sure that when when a bill or policy is being passed, that the voice of small businesses is there. Because by the time it becomes legislation, the unintended consequences really come and hurt us. So we need to make sure that we are there from the beginning and see it through to the end, to make sure that when these things become law, that that those unintended consequences do not impact our small businesses the way they have in the past. And there's a lot of that's going on. constantly, and our businesses feel it, especially our small businesses. I can go on and on and on, but I'm very passionate about our small businesses, very passionate about our community. We work very well with the Asian business organizations, of course, Latino and Latina organizations, but the African American chambers of commerce. We are all one. We are all one. I tell everyone, we are a coalition. We represent the rainbow. We represent every flavor. Baskin Robbins has nothing on us. But our emphasis is on the Latino community as an organization. We do have differences in culture. There's different things that are impacting our African American brothers and sisters, and there's things that are impacting our Latino brothers and sisters. Same things our Asian community, our Middle Eastern community. So there's cultural differences and things that impact us all differently. So there's issues that each one of us have to deal with our community. Because business is business at the end of the day. We will advocate for our small businesses, but let's also keep in mind that there's different components in the world and in our communities that impact, like I said, the African American community, the Latino community, the Asian community. We all have things that are tossed on our laps, to say, and we have to address them individually as organizations.
And Frank, you're absolutely right. There's so many challenges, but I do think the coalition is important, and that's one of the things we're working with up here in Los Angeles. We're just pulling together our organizations, the GLAC, the Greater Los Angeles African American, and the BBA, and the Crenshaw Chamber, and my organization, Recycling Black Dollars. We're all coming together to work together, but the goal is to become one organ. We have our individuals, but we all work together because we need to close our silos. And that is with our Black and brown brothers and our Asian brothers, because at the end of the day, we're the minorities in this country at the present moment. Ultimately, we're not, but
if you tally us all together, we're the
majority. The numbers, we're not, but we need to have a voice that's one, and that as one, and then we become the majority. But right now, that's some of the things that the political atmosphere that we're working with in this country right now. But we all need to be on the same page, right? At least to the outward community, to the world, we need to be on the same port, saying the same message, that small business and our communities and our families all have the same drive, the same goal, and the same purpose, right? We all care. And at the very beginning of the top, when you first start speaking, that same message that you just spoke, I spoke that yesterday. I was telling a Republican politician that exact same message, all the way to the point that our concerns are at if we were to leave this earth, if God called us home today, my biggest concern would be, could we leave this earth today and leave it for our children for tomorrow? We can't do that. And so our concern is making this place a safe place for them to be here tomorrow. So our work is not done. It really is not done. And when I leave here and it's time for me to go through the pearly gates, I want them to say, Crystal, good job. You left an impact. You've made this place, you've made the place for your people coming behind you a better place. And so you said the exact same thing. And I think that's what we all want, especially as minorities in this world, is to make sure that our children, our youth, the young people coming behind us have a better place to live. And so I commend you on the work that you're doing.
Yeah. And Crystal, I just want to say something. We are not the minority, we're the majority, but
we
get the minority of dollars.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that it's reverse discrimination, because of spending for the minority communities. And I said, look, it has nothing to do with color. It's an economic discrimination. That's where the problem is. And they say, there's opportunities out there. Yes, they are, but they're not equally distributed.
Right.
That is the problem.
That's the problem.
Yes. And we have so much catching up to do because we've been held back for decades. And, I say this all the time. Our minorities have so much in common, but there's constant wedges being driven between us. Because, and I've seen this since I went to when I was in school. They want to keep us apart because once we come together, the whole system changes. But for that to happen, also, we need to be prepared as a community. Our disenfranchised, our disadvantaged communities need to come together as one. So when those opportunities are equally distributed, they're ready. They're ready. We are ready. So that's also important there, because we're going to make sure that those opportunities get equally distributed. I tell folks, look, I'm not asking anymore. I want what's mine. Okay, I'm going to get it. Either you're going to give it to me or I'm going to take it.
I'm going to take it.
It's ours. It's ours.
It's ours. It's ours.
Knocking on doors and you don't want to open it. I'm going to knock them down. I have no time to waste. I truly believe the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
That's right.
That's exactly true.
I'm that squeaky wheel because if we need to create change, because if not, it's not going to come.
It's not going to come
in our lifetime.
Right. Somebody said recently when they obviously eliminating affirmative action and DEI and all that sort of stuff. This is not about any of that. It's about equality. It's about leveling the playing field so we all get a piece of the pie. If you're gonna take the pie and make 8 different pieces, then all 8 of us need to get a piece of that pie that's been separated or sliced up into 8 different pieces. Not half the pie going over here and then this other group of people being able to split up the other half. That's not right. Equality. So forget the DEI. We ain't going to talk about DEI. We're not going to talk about affirmative action. Just split the pie into 8 equal pieces and we all get equal share of the pie. That's all we asking for. And like you said, Frank, if you're not going to give it, then we're going to have to take it. We're going to have to become much more aggressive about the basket. Right, exactly.
Make our own pie.
Now, a big part of the advocacy that you do, Mr. Chairman, is also to hold events and hold summits. And I believe there's an event coming up, right, that you're championing. So
yes.
What is that event?
We have our Spears of Sustainability, and this is a yearly event that we have every April. Last year it was in water. The year before that was in infrastructure. But this year it is on electrification of transportation. And the reason for this event is California is pushing for electric vehicles. The great, fine, dandy. But the thing is, let's be honest, our Latino and African-American brothers and sisters don't have the wherewithal to own an electric vehicle. And if they did and they lived in an apartment, where are they going to plug in? Where are they going to plug in? And then the other thing is that I was told, and this is where this concept came from, somebody brought it up to my attention and said, Frank, have you ever gone to this charging station here in, I think it's Colton or Rialto? I said, no, I didn't know they had one. They said, yeah, it's right there in Walmart. They said, do you know how dangerous that one is? Do you know that at night there's no lights? And he was telling me about a new thing called charging rage, where you could be in line waiting to jump to get to be next to charge your cars, and somebody comes and just jumps right in front of you.
Wow.
So they're having that charging range, and I guess it's because the way they plan the charging stations is not it's not the same way they plan them in the affluent neighborhoods.
Wow.
So I'm like, whoa, I had no clue. So we said, okay, let's peel that onion. Let's peel that onion. So we're going to be talking about all those things, but also, is it truly safe to own an electric vehicle? My two goddaughters wanted electric vehicles when they graduate from school, but after hearing all these horror stories, I'm like, I can't put my granddaughters in electric vehicles. Where are they going to charge at night? And they both live in apartment complexes, so they can't do it at their homes. But that is being pushed to us. It's being pushed to us. So if that's going to happen, then make sure that the infrastructure is in place, because it's truly not in place yet. They're putting the cart before the horse. So we want to make sure that we educate our community and let our community know the true facts on what it means to own an electric vehicle and what are the challenges. But on top of that is, when you're building these charging stations, who's building them? When you're repairing them, who's repairing them?
Yeah.
If there's those opportunities, because like we say, we're going to get those lemons and we're going to make lemonade. Well, the lemonade is who's going to build it, who's going to repair them. We want to do that. Right. Our small businesses need to get those contracts. All businesses need to get ready to get in that type of work. Because if there's a lack of infrastructure, there's charging stations that are constantly broken and are not working. Well, guess what? I have the solution. I have a ton of small business owners, folks that want to become small business owners, that will fix those. So that's how I push the electrification on this. But we're also talking about transportation of power, transportation of water, the high-speed rail. We have somebody from the high-speed rail, one of the board directors, coming to speak on exactly what's happening with that, because we understand that that's the train to nowhere. But I was told that the construction has already started. And I'm going to say, well, you're going to be very popular at this summit, because a lot of questions are, where's that train? We've been waiting for it forever. So when is that coming? So this event here is to peel that onion, is to truly peel that onion, but talk about the opportunities in our disadvantaged communities. What are we doing?
I absolutely love that, Frank, because I've had those questions, and I know when I'm over at Fox Hills Mall and the electric cars are charging, there's like a line almost through the backside of the mall, and it takes 20, 30 minutes. It's not like driving up to the gas station and take you 5 minutes. So what does that all mean? When you're talking about all of us are going to have electric cars, is it going to be a in and out like gas stations? No, because it takes a minute to charge. It takes a minute to charge my Fitbit. It takes 20 minutes to charge my Fitbit. So, and it takes 20 minutes an hour to charge my phone. So how is my car going to charge faster than my phone? So I don't quite get that. And I don't get, how am I going to drive to Vegas on my car? Do I have to rent a car? What does that mean? So I love that you're doing this. I think this makes so much sense, because I'm one of those people, I ask how, and so I had so many questions and I wasn't finding the answers. And when they say that, because once they're saying that by 2035 or 20 whatever, all of the gas cars are going to be gone and we're all going to be in electric, how is that going to happen?
Yeah. But the other thing though is, when the electric vehicles, great. I love the concept. I love all that. But a question that nobody's asking this question is, what about the carbon footprint on the batteries?
Yes.
What happens with all those batteries? And I'm in the automotive industry, and a lot of those electric cars, the body parts are not recyclable. In other words, they don't go into a wrecking yard and you can go and buy them because they're plastic. What they're made of, that they're no longer able to be resold. So most of the components goes to the landfill, from what I see, because there's not a lot of metal parts on that. So where's the carbon footprint in that?
Amazing.
Then the other thing is the charging. When you're charging them, you can be waiting in line for 45 minutes to an hour. Then you finally get there and you're there for another hour.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Doesn't take that long to get fuel in a car.
Exactly. So if they want us to get into these electric vehicles, where's the infrastructure? What are the incentives? The incentives for our minority communities or our disenfranchised communities to get into those cars. Because believe me, if 50-60% of us had electric vehicles, the grid was shut down. We have blackouts even now. Every year we have blackouts. So what are you going to do when it gets hot? When it's warm, you don't drive your car?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
the other thing is when you're stuck in traffic. There's been times where you can be in traffic for 3 hours, dead stop because of an accident or something happens. You can't keep your vehicle running for that long if you're in an EV vehicle. What happens?
Exactly. There's so many questions. Now, Robin Mosley Mansell she's an electric vehicle owner. She says the new technology is 10 to 15 minutes. She's never waited in line more than 5 minutes. And the incentives are part of the Inflation Reduction Act. So I guess our question is, Robin, if I don't know how many drivers, Frank, you're in the automobile. How many drivers are actually in the state of California or Southern California or the Inland Empire? If we broke it down, I would imagine, what is it, 300 and something million people in California?
Well, there are 4 million people in Los Angeles alone. So we figure if there are 4 million, chances are maybe a little less than 25% of those are driving EVs.
Okay.
And the other thing is they say that for every charging station, there's close to 800 folks that have that. So close to 800 folks share one charging station. It's from what I've seen from reports.
Right.
That's there. So there's not sufficient infrastructure. And the thing is, with these apartments, not all the landlords are allowing those charging stations. I know in the Inland Empire, there's a lot of folks that live in apartments because of the high cost of rent.
Right.
There's no charging stations there. And then the thing is, there's some charging stations that are free, but some you have to pay also.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was just told this by one of our board members that's on the committee putting this event together. I had no clue. He goes, yeah, you can do it faster on some, but that you have to pay. I said, is that told to you when you buy a car? Well, kind of, not really. So this is part of peeling that onion. There's so many unknowns.
Yeah.
Because like I said, even folks that bought these cars, they are still learning on that.
Yeah, so that needs to be clarified. Again, Miss Robin Mosley Mansell said, I went back to school for environmental studies. My company sells solar and EV chargers. This is not new. So she's in the charging space there, Mr. Chairman. Maybe you need to connect with her too. Bring her at the event. Robin, are you available on April 30th, 2024 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Pomona?
That would be great to have that conversation. But I do know Greg said 4 million in LA City, but there are over 27 million licensed drivers. Don't know if they all have vehicles, but I would assume at least 75%. She says she's already signed up at her booth. So there you go. We can go over to her.
Mr. Chairman, there you go. You got Robin there all ready to go with you. Ready to rock with you.
I want to hear her chime in and tell us from her point of view, because like I said, from our vantage point, this is how we see it.
But no, we have to ask questions because it's very, very important. And this is a fantastic topic. These are the things, because these are things that are on the near agenda. And California, as much as we'd like to get everybody on public transportation, I know in the city of Los Angeles that is not that's great on paper, but in reality that's not gonna happen just like they think it's gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And so consequently we were created as a car city, and that's what we do. Wow. And the transportation is not like New York. Public transportation is not like New York. It's not even like San Francisco. So it's going to take a lot more work to do to get us on public transportation, because nothing connects, and we're just too vastly spread out for that to happen. And then once you've added in the Ubers and all of that sort of stuff, so it's more of a notion. It might be a great fantasy, but there's a lot of questions to get a Southern California out of their car. That to me seems to be a feat, a Herculean feat actually, to make that happen. So Frank, we do have another guest, but everyone, you definitely want to know.
Let's give a shout out to the event though. So this is called, for folks, this is called the Spheres of Sustainability Summit, and this is going to be held on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. It's going to be from 8:30 a.m. in the morning until 5 p.m. It's going to be at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Pomona. And the address for that, folks, I put it in the chat, so you can just copy what's in the chat right now. The address is 3101 West Temple Avenue, and that's Pomona, California. And the zip is 91768. Now, there's a phone number that you guys can call also in order to get registered or to speak to someone about, having a booth, just like Miss Robin Mosley Mansell just did. But the phone number is 951-426-4272. I'm going to repeat that. It's 951-426-4272, guys. And, I also put an email where you guys can register. This is going to be an amazing event. And just so you guys know, I'm the procurement chairman for the Hispanic Coalition of Small Business, the same one that Mr. Chairman is on. He's the chairman of it. I'm just the procurement guy. So we're doing outreach right now. We're trying to reach all types of small businesses, sponsors, and everyone, to participate in that event. Because like you can see here, we're having a great conversation on this sustainability summit, guys, and the EV vehicles and the chargers. And man, Miss Robin Mosley Mansell, she knows quite a bit about it. Yes. So I'm looking forward to having her either on a panel over there or something to that effect. What do you say, Mr. Chairman?
Okay. If there's room, they'd have to speak with our committee chair, with this Ijadi. But I would like to quickly, if I can, I want to just let you guys know who some of the panelists are. So we have Mr. Peter Mendoza, which is the director of San Bernardino County Purchasing, the largest county in the nation, believe, definitely in California. Ernie Camacho, board director of California High Speed Rail. Eva Carrasco with Burns Engineering. Rosa Castro with Metropolitan Water. Luis Gutierrez, the director of Water and Energy for City of LA under Karen Bass, Mayor Bass. Jose Martinez with Santec. Chanel Pearson with Southern California Edison. Jose Perez, Latinos and Hispanics in Energy. Alejandro Cruz with San Bernardino Valley College. He oversees the vocational training for the automotive classes in battery storage, EV vehicles. And also we have someone from Charge Ready. And the guest speakers, Eldrisha Melton with the California Public Utilities Commission, a dear friend. Andrew McAllister, he's a commissioner with California Energy Commission. Dr. Khan, she's with the Department of Energy, the U.S. Department of Energy. And Naomi Gallardo, which is the commissioner for California Energy Commission. And then the moderators are Michael Herrera with McCarthy Builders, Rick Duarte with Metropolitan Water. Another moderator is Marco Tulli, president of Inland Empire Utilities. And another moderator is Ijari Echeverria with Trevanta. That's just a couple of them. But as you can see, we have a vast array of different industries in the energy sector.
And that's a star-studded cast.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Is. Yeah, it's awesome. And I would love to extend an offer to both you and Robin, Frank. I don't know if we have it on our schedule. I host another podcast. It actually is a informational podcast called The Community Briefing. I do it every Thursday at 11 a.m. And I launched it during the pandemic to be a source of information so people would know who is doing what in the community, and to be able to have for our small business community, our communities, to know who our leaders and stakeholders were. And I think this topic is a topic that everyone needs to know about. Oh, yeah. And so I have a producer for that particular one. His name is Stephen Turner. I'm going to have him reach out to you if you are open, maybe after your event. I'm not quite sure we may have a slot available before this, but probably will be more in May. Would love to have you to come on and talk about the Hispanic Coalition for Small Businesses, but definitely to talk about this topic. And Robin, if you're available, if you would put your information in the chat, I would love for that to happen as well, because this is a conversation we're not having up here, and we definitely need to have this conversation.
Now, co-host, can this coming Thursday, can he come on for like 10 minutes to talk about this event? Because this event needs some visibility. We need to have all the small businesses here in LA and in Pasadena. Robin's putting her contact information in the chat.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, do you already have Robin's contact info?
Yes, I believe so. I think I've met Robin off and on in the past years.
Yeah, I think Robin.
But if not,
I think Robin is a part of the Black Chamber of the IE, right? I think so.
So I will, yes, in fact, we have the assemblyman from Gardena on Thursday of next week, Mark Henderson. So that'll be a good one. So we can bring you on. I'll send the information over to Gilbert, and he can get it over to you. The marketing material is all available, and you can pop in. It's at 11 a.m. online. It's a virtual.
Yeah, and one other thing that I'm going to toss this in and probably rattle the cage a little bit more is, what is the cost to the taxpayers?
Yeah.
All these upgraded infrastructures, because I was also sent some information that the EVs are heavier than regular passenger vehicles, which they are, that the guardrails are not strong enough to hold those vehicles back, that they would go into the opposite lanes, opposite side of traffic.
Oh, wow.
We're looking into that. But if that's true, if that's true, then they all have to be retrofitted or replaced.
Yeah.
Great.
All good questions, man. Things we have not even thought about.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point.
And also, they're heavier. So there's more wear and tear on the roads. Yeah. So like I said, those are unintended consequences. But like I said, if our taxpayers are going to pay for that, then give some of that to our small businesses.
Yeah.
Give those opportunities to our small businesses. Leave the money here. I do not want to see us buying material from another country.
Right.
If you're going to get it here in California, build it in California, manufacture it in California. Yeah. Let's stop bringing it from somewhere else, yet we have to pay those higher prices. Right. Build it here, keep it here, let the small businesses build it and fix all those problems.
Right.
I like the way you think, Mr. Montes.
That's a good point, man. And Robin said that they don't roll. The EVs don't roll. So.
Yeah, and Robin, we're gonna definitely get you in because you're the other side of it. The information, because like I said, at least in my neck of the woods, we're not having these conversations, and this is something very, very important to be having. So I'm gonna get both of you on the community briefing, and Robin, we'd love to have you on the business zone as well, because there seems to be business opportunities in this space that you're talking about that we need to be introducing our populations to. Yes, businesses need to be certified. So Robin, we're going to be sending you some information on becoming a guest on the business zone to find out what that is. And our next guest, she probably has some businesses that they may need to be certified in this space as well. So, wow, this has been great. So
Robert, this is good. I'm excited, man.
I'm excited. So Frank, I will send you the link to make sure you get some moments on the community briefing next week, so we can get some people out to the Inland Empire. In fact, we have probably a number of people that are on the community briefing that are out in that area. I definitely know we have people in Riverside and in the San Bernardino area. So
actually, the event is going to be in Pomona, right up the 10 freeway. So it's close.
That's close.
So
cool.
You get off at the 10 freeway and you go to Temple, and it's right there. The hotel is right there. So that's going to be a great event. Mr. Chairman, make sure you send us some flyers so we can get it out to our small business population. And this is going to be great. And Robin, man, we're looking to have you as part of this too. And it's good. And Mr. Chairman, I also want you to connect. You know, if you don't have to go, I'd like you to stay on, because I want you to connect with our next guest coming up, because she's another phenomenal entrepreneur out there, man. You wait until you hear her. You guys need to connect.
We're going to bring her on right now, so we're just going to switch you over to the side over here and put her in the middle. There you go. And then we're going to change the name here. Hello, how are you? Great conversation we were having, huh?
Yes, most definitely.
Yes. This has been a great show. Did you know about all of this?
Not as much as I did until now. I heard a little bit about it, but now it's sparking up my interest to learn more.
Now, there's a lot of folks who've been chiming in on this. They've been tuning in. So I just want to let you guys know where you are. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. But when the show is great like this, we extend it until 5. So you guys are going to have a lot more information here that you can share. And now we're going to listen to our next guest, which is another phenomenal woman entrepreneur in this space. So, Crystal, you want to tell us?
Yes, I am. So she is the general manager of Coleman Equipment Rental. They got all the alphabets, man. The small business women, business enterprise certification. She's their minority business certified. Okay, commuter, just what you doing? There we go. It just popped off while I was reading everything. And they do aerial rental. They're an aerial equipment rental company that specializes in aerial equipment for new and ongoing construction projects in Los Angeles and Orange County. They have massive fleet, which includes a 19-foot scissor lift and an 18-foot ultra boom, and we work with you to make sure you meet your project's requirement. That's on that, but we're going to have her tell us more about herself and how she got in this industry. I met her actually with another construction company many years ago, and now you're actually with a woman-owned business construction company, right?
No, actually, it was a small minority-owned HVAC company.
Okay, right. That was Loomis.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But now you're with Sharon Coleman, which is a woman-owned business owner, right?
No, this is a different company.
Oh, it's a different one.
It's a different company. Actually.
Oh, okay.
She's going to tell you her story.
Okay.
Her
All
journey.
Right. So the before we get to that one, but the HVAC was, so the owner of that company, my uncle helped him get his license, his construction license, when he was doing the LEAP program at the Urban League way back there when the Urban League had the LEAP program. So that was the connection that I had with Leonard. And now let's talk to Rakiyah on how she got into this field and the company she's working with now. How are you?
I'm
Welcome.
doing well. Thank you, Crystal and Gilbert, for inviting me on your amazing podcast. Just to give you some background information, I've been in construction almost 22 years. My construction journey started at the small minority HVAC company, where I worked myself up from the receptionist to being a controller. I basically reached my ceiling where I was at, and this is when I met Gilbert, who is one of my biggest advocates and cheerleaders. I ran the whole show, basically. And I had reached my ceiling probably into my 16th, 17th year of working at that particular company. And I was offered the opportunity to start African-American woman-owned equipment rental company. So that was established in 2018. In 2019, I became the owner. So in addition to being the general manager, I am the owner of Coleman Equipment Rentals.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
That's what I was telling you, co-host. Wait till you hear the story.
Yes, I'm the owner. I'm the owner of Coleman Equipment Rentals.
Okay.
In addition with that, I'm also the first African-American woman certified in aerial instruction through JLG. Okay.
Man, I am so proud of this woman. You just don't know. You know, I can think of two women right now, other than my mom, right, that I'm very, very proud of. One of them is my co-host, and the other one is Miss Rakiyah LeBlue.
Okay. Because when I read up on it on her LinkedIn profile, it don't say nothing about her being the owner.
Oh, man.
Wait. I was confused. So extra kudos to you, my sister.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
And I was telling Mr. Chairman earlier that I introduced Rakiyah to him. I think it was at the last Black event where we were sitting at the McCarthy table, and she was getting an award as like Small Business Woman of the Year or something like that. And I introduced her when they probably don't remember each other right now, but yeah, man, she is phenomenal.
Yes, Gilbert, you did introduce me to Frank, and I'm actually won the award at GLAC for special recognition.
Yeah.
And I was nominated by Hansel Phelps.
Yeah.
So that just goes to, and that was a surprise to me, that just goes to how integrity is important in the industry, any industry you work in, especially construction, because it's about people watching you and you doing the right thing when no one's looking. So I was nominated by Hansel Phelps, won special recognition. In addition, I also won another award last year as well from NEMC for a Rising Star. So I won 2 awards in 1 year. Also, I'm the member of NEMC and a board member as well. So,
man, I'm so proud of this woman, man. I'm telling you, you know, when even though I don't have any, when you have a kid and the kid, goes from high school and go to college and graduate and get this $1 million job, that's her. That's her to me right there.
Well, I am very proud of her as well. Congratulations. I didn't know all of this was going on.
Oh, yeah. So aren't you going to tell them about that project you got with the Star Trek program there? What is it called? In Hollywood area. What's the name of the big project you get?
I'm on quite a few big projects.
Star Wars, the Star Wars guy.
Oh yeah, the Lucas Museum.
Lucas, there you go. That's the guy I'm trying to remember.
Lucas Museum. He's actually building a $2 billion museum. It's an art museum.
Yeah.
And I've been at them on that project since 2019.
Yeah.
And George Lucas and his wife Melanie and the Lucas Foundation took a personal interest and a request and a requirement to have small minority women on that project.
Yeah.
Because Melanie is African American.
Right.
So she campaigned for small businesses as myself to be in that project, which is monumental. and I've been on it since 2019. So
oh yeah, and you were the only female equipment rental provider that was on that, and that was a big contract for you, right?
Yes, amazing. I'm still on the contract today. In addition with that, I've been on every project of LAX, Conrac, ITF, APM, every project that's going on LAX, I have supplied equipment for.
Man, I'm just so proud of this woman, man.
SoFi and Tua Dome, the list goes on and on.
Oh my God. Well, you go ahead, girl. I like to see women in this very man-dominated industry doing their thing, making it happen. That's like Andrea doing her thing in the whole EV. Yeah, maybe did you introduce Frank to Andrea as well?
No, not yet. We're gonna do that, man. We're gonna do that. Yeah. This is amazing.
But I really like it to see women in this space, especially today where women are, they're trying to minimize women and the skill sets and our contribution to what is going on in both our personal lives and definitely in the business world. They're trying to make us insignificant. But when we see that women are making these major impacts on in the business world and in construction industries, we need to be raising. Girl, go back to your LinkedIn and change that and say, no, you're not the general. You're the general manager. You are the owner.
She's just being humble, man. She's just being humble.
You're the owner.
Yes, I'm the owner.
I remember the first time I met her, man, and she started talking. I said, damn, she knows what's going on. So we were supposed to be doing some labor compliance with her company, and we started talking and we started going over some stuff, man, and it was just so phenomenal, man. I fell in love with her that same day. I said, man, we're gonna have to make this thing happen. And ever since that day, man, she's just been growing, because she was an employee at that time for another company. And then as time progressed, how many years out? But like 5 years after that, you got this new company?
Well, I left that previous company and I started this one in 2018.
Yes.
So been in business since then, but that established, but I was at for 16 years prior to that.
Yeah.
From the ground up, working my way up to the top. And Gilbert, a lot of sweat equity, I can the back office, I handled everything, every aspect of the company, from accounts payable, HR, compliance.
So how many employees do you have now?
I have three total.
Yeah.
But the thing about my company, so let me just get into that. Equipment rental is a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
So that's an outside branch, outside of construction, where it's male-dominated as well.
Right.
So when I was taking my exams in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, I was the only woman and the only person of color. I was like the fly in a bowl of buttermilk. So I'm out there and I felt like I had to show out extra hard because here I am. I'm in Pennsylvania, never been in Pennsylvania in my life. And I'm out here showing out in front of all these white men, these cowboys and all this stuff. And we're doing obstacle course from 185-foot boom to another one. So just to kind of explain what aerial equipment is anything that puts people or materials in the air. So for example, to be a scissor lift or a boom lift or a heavy duty forklift.
Yeah.
So I have equipment that goes from 19 feet in the air to 185 feet.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's like a 10-story building, right?
Oh, yeah, past that. So when I got in the equipment rental industry, not only did I want to know everything about it, I wanted to be able to be a teacher and instructor. Maybe it was just my personal accomplishment I want to do for myself, or maybe it's my ego, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to just know about it. I want to be able to teach people about it, get them certified. If you want to get in any industry, be the best you can be. And especially a small business, you have to learn every leg of that business, from receptionist, answering the phone, putting in the invoice, writing the check. People don't understand what it takes to run a small business.
Right.
The many hats you have to wear.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a strong love for small businesses. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, sweat equity. And then it's something about what people don't realize is, we hustle for our last name, not our first. It's about building a legacy and, being an owner and a boss. Sometimes if you don't follow your own dream, you'll help somebody else follow their dream. Then you're sitting like, what happened while you're watching everybody's life go by. And by that time, it's too late. And then you have a lot of regrets.
Yeah. That's very true.
And I wish I could have did this. So I've been blessed and just having a good reputation and integrity in the industry that all the years I was in my previous company, it helped me, help support me and with all my projects that I've been doing. You know what I mean? They work with me. They remember my name. They remember Rakiyah. Oh, she's on point. She's gonna come through. So that's had helped me be very successful in this industry. In addition with that, I want to just mention, I was part of a Swinnerton project. They built a Kaiser and Watts. So that was very special to me. I was one of the only equipment providers out there being a woman. At one point, I had 15 pieces of equipment out there.
Yeah.
And so that made me feel special. Them building a Kaiser and Watts just haven't happened. And working for a major company like Swinnerton.
Yeah.
We have people like Rick Vaughn who campaigns and all the beautiful people that work at Swinnerton that, what gave me a chance. I'm not one of the known big guys.
Right.
Let me tell you something. My customer service and quality equipment, I kill everybody off. Because once you become a customer, you're just a number. When you call Coleman Equipment, I answer the phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of you. You get my voice.
Yeah.
You get my energy. You get my dedication and my appreciation for the business.
Man, so are you still training? I'm
training as needed. That's a value proposition that I offer my customers. Of course, I do want them. The main objective is making sure they make it home at the end of the day. So I do want them to be competent to use the equipment properly. This equipment is dangerous. I mean, I just told you, from 19 feet to 185 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah, that is.
You got to be fully trained. You got to know to wear your PPE, be able to operate it from the ground. And my whole thing is, you want to fix the plane on the ground, not in the air.
Yeah, right.
So one of my parts of me learning how to be an instructor was I had to know how to operate and troubleshoot and get my little hands dirty. Everybody knows I'll be wearing my little nails, but honey, I'll get dirty if I have to.
And those steel toe boots, right?
Yes, honey. Walking on job sites and they're looking at me like, what am I doing here? Like I'm a novelty. And I'm like, you're my equipment.
Wow. I am just so kudos, girl. Kudos. You gonna show them.
Now, co-host, now you see why I brought her on the show.
Yeah,
right?
just
she's
awesome.
been doing things, man, and some people know about it, but a lot of people don't know. So we wanted to make sure, guys, for those of you just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We are on every Friday from 3 to 4:30, and even we'll take it up to 5 o'clock. When we have a great show like today, we will. And I just want you guys to know, these are the type of guests we bring on to this show so they can educate the population, entrepreneurs and contract providers alike. Let them know who is out there in the field. Because sometimes you don't know what phenomenal entrepreneurs out there who can run your project, master your project, or even support your project. I mean, this is a woman here in a male-dominated field. She's doing equipment rentals, right? We're talking those booms and forklifts and, cherry picker, those types of things, guys. It's out there. I remember the last time we had the Hispanic Coalition of Small Businesses. We had when we had our first annual anniversary, when we first started out, we were at the San Bernardino County Airport, and we needed to have equipment like yours out there, right? So we can have them set up, right, Mr. Chairman? We had to have them set up so that people can see what's out there. See, she would be great for that. She would be great for that.
I'm just impressed. I'm just giggly because I just love this. And like I said, in a day and age when all of a sudden women no longer have, or some folks think that we no longer have a real purpose in this life, but we have to show. So I want to say to you, your story needs to be told
over and over again.
I haven't been to your website, but if it doesn't highlight you, it needs to. Your LinkedIn needs to highlight you.
I've been trying to get her to.
You need to be front and center, my dear, because it's and I'm saying that because today it needs to show that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today is very important that we show how important we are. And the contribution that we're providing to the business world, no matter what industries we in, we have to toot our own horns, because there are people that are saying that we don't matter.
You know what's amazing, co-host? They were saying that, and it's true to some extent. They're saying that women, they don't do hard, laborious work. You know, they tend to do the easier work, which is more communitarian, you know, helping kids, fostering, you know, being in a community type situation. But with her, she is an exception to this rule, because she's going out there, put on those steel toe boots, the hard hat, man, the gloves, and she's out there doing her thing, man. I've seen her, because I don't even know how to do it. She knows how to do this. I've seen her go out there, man. She jump on these booms, get them set up, man. I'm going, damn.
But you know why that is, Gilbert? And you say that about me as well. It's because we just do. We don't go out talking about it. We just do, right?
Yeah.
So you think that we're always behind the scenes, that we are always the supporter, but in actuality, we're not.
You're the doer.
We're the doer. I was at the BBA Salute to Women. They do that every year, and this year, the energy with the women that were in that room, it was bouncing off the ceiling. It was so high. Every woman in there was just more, you couldn't even decide who was more magnificent. It was just a room full of very incredible women with a whole lot of power. And so one of the ladies that was sitting on a panel, I don't know if you guys have heard of her, and she got a big event, her first event going on at LA Live. Her name is Arlen Hamilton. And Arlen Hamilton is an investor. And so she has actually, when she first started her business, she went looking for funds or investments for her money, right? Equity, capital.
Yeah.
And she said she was getting doors slammed in her face because 1, she was a woman, 2, she was Black, and 3, she was gay. And everybody, they were shutting doors. So she's like, okay. She was like, Frank, okay, you're not going to give it to me. I'm going to go start my own equity fund. And that's what she did. So today she has supplied over 200,000 women with money.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so she has, so she's having a huge an event down at LA Live on the 9th through the 12th. It's her very first one. She's bringing a whole slew of folks. It's called The First Million Live. So she has a book out called Your First Million. The lady is bad, and she is like, they wouldn't give me my money, and I'm gonna go get my own money. and so Robin says she was at in Rancho Cucamonga 3 weeks ago. Yeah, every woman was incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna be there on the 9th. But here's how incredible she was. When she first came in, it was a room. We were having a morning session. She supplied tickets for everyone in the room. By the end of the event, and I think there was probably close to 200 or 300 of us there. She provided tickets for everyone in the place.
That's amazing.
So we all have been invited to come out to this event over a 3-day event. To see Issa Rae's gonna be there, Shirley Jackson. I mean, just the whole. But we as women have to toot our own horns, Rakiyah, and we have to show that we're not the support staff.
You may be wearing steel toes and hard hats during the day and stilettos and lipstick at night.
We have to be. Remember that commercial a long time ago? It said what was that commercial where we're the woman we cook the breakfast and fry the bacon in the morning, and then we go off in our 3-piece suit in the afternoon, and then we come back and cook the roast at night.
That's right,
That's who we are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
right?
are. So being a strong backbone, and people don't realize the backbone, that's what keeps the neck turning. So
and that's what keeps the neck turning. So in this world right now, people, they're thinking that we can't make decisions about our own health. We need somebody to tell us. I was reading somewhere, it's like just 50 years ago, we couldn't even have a credit card on our own. What the heck?
See, that's why people like Frank and I, man, we're always out there supporting women like you guys to, we're always pushing you up there in that pedestal. We had an event back in November, the Hispanic Coalition of Small Business. We had an event in, I don't remember what city that was, but we honored quite a few women, Mr. Chairman, right? We honored us, Yeah. Go ahead.
It's our Latino awards, and those awards are for women behind the scenes.
Nobody really knows.
That's what all the moves are made are behind the scenes, and you see some of these women that that they seem insignificant, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. But when folks, but once you peel that onion, you see how strong, powerful they are. And we highlighted 9 women in that, the women behind the scenes.
Who knows, Rakiyah? Maybe the next event we could have you there, pushing you up on that pedestal. You've done some things.
Definitely.
You know what? I have, and you know what? I just keep it all perspective. I'm very humble, Gilbert. You've been knowing me for decades now, so I just want to stay focused. And
that's good. But here's the thing: our young women need to see women like you.
Yeah.
Our young
I'm
women.
relatable too. I'm relatable. I'm still young. I understand. I had life single mom, got 2 grown children, college graduates, very successful in what they do. Yeah. So you can do everything you set your mind to.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
In particular circumstances, you're not a product of your circumstances. We all have 24 hours in a day, and you have a choice to make choices, getting up and go to work, and sitting around and waiting for something to be given to you.
Right, exactly.
People who have their handouts will be left empty-handed.
Empty-handed, and that's why it's so important that we have to let our young girls know that it doesn't matter what life handed you. Because you are the ones that create your life, right? You're the ones that you can change a situation. You can change something that looks like it's the worst failure in the world into the best opportunity that ever happened to someone. And so, but sometimes they just have to see that there's a role model out there that has done exactly that. And I think one of the things that's so important, and especially today, because of what's going on in the world, and since most folks seem to get their news from the internet, they're saying that appears that we're very insignificant. So we have to make sure as women that again, it's back to what Frank said. It's not that DEI that we are concerned about. DEI, what we're concerned about is equality. Yes. We need to all get our piece of the darn pie.
Exactly. We all deserve equal share. Women deserve to make the same amount as men, if not more. I'm sorry.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sorry, not more. I have to throw that in there.
No, it's true. It's true.
Because at the end of the day, women deserve a lot more respect than we're given. Everything starts from a woman, including life. So, in addition, with raising a household and getting out there, like you said, you go out there and kill the pig, come home and clean it and cook it and just do it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes we do stuff and don't even realize it's autopilot. And it's important to stay focused and just not give up on yourself. And it's about tenacity. And then especially construction, having thick skin and not taking things personal.
Oh, yeah. Right.
My saying is this: if you don't give me a seat at the table, I'm gonna bring a fold-up chair.
I have a saying right here. Shirley Chisholm said that, and she's got a show. It's something on Netflix about her, and she said, "Yeah, exactly. If you don't have a seat for me at the table, then I'm gonna bring my own chair. I'm bring my own chair." And that was the reason why I started the community briefing. Because if you're sitting at the table having conversations about me, then I need to bring you to a platform where I can have conversation about you and ask you about who told you that I thought that way. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a politician that he made a comment. He was on my. So he kind of opened up the field because he came to my platform. And you come to my platform, then that means I can ask any kind of questions I want. And so he came to my platform. And so we asked him, well, what's your platform? Why are you running in this community that's predominantly Black and brown? And his comment was, no one should automatically be elected in any area. So I asked him, I said, so what you're telling me is you think that Black people just elect Black people because they Black? Is that what you're telling me? I said, no, we gave him some education. We had to educate him. That ain't how we vote. We had to give him some education. And we also had to tell him, you can't come to an organization with your kente cloth and think that you're part of us. It don't work like that. You have to put your sweat equity. You got to get your stripes on your back. Because that's why we're here. That's right. We worked. We put our efforts. We supported our community. And I told him, I said, we vote for Auntie Maxine because she took her shoes off and her earrings and she fought for us in the streets. Yeah. That's why we voted for her. We didn't vote for her just because she was Black. Yeah. She proved to us that she was fighting for us. Yeah. So that's what you need to do. So you just can't come into the community. And I know you live in the community because that's the only way you can run for the community. But you can't buy a house in the community and assume that you're part of the community. Because that means you're part of the gentrified part of our community. That's what that means to us.
You got to put some sweat equity in there.
Right. I can't come and borrow sugar from you because you're not part of the community. So you need to go and you need to volunteer your services free of charge, dude, at any one of our organizations. Offer your sweat equity and then we can see who you really are. Yeah. Because that's how we in the Black and brown community embrace you in our community. We just don't take you at face value. You got to come with putting your sweat on the table like the rest of us. Right? Am I right, guys?
You know what's amazing about that co-host? All four of us here right now on this show, all four of us, we've done that. We've worked in the community. We've built. We've volunteered. We put the sweat equity in there. People know us. They know us from what we do. And if people in the community need us to do things, they don't have to ask twice because they know we're going to do it. Mr. Chairman, he has the Martin Luther King parade and program going every year. At the same time, he's got the Latino events going. He's got Asian, everything that goes on there in the San Bernardino County area. You see what I'm saying?
That's because we walk. We don't just talk the talk. We walk the walk. So if you're not walking the walk, then I'm sorry. That means nothing to us. And exactly. So that's the same thing with women. Gilbert and I talk about our parents. My mom, I don't know how the heck she raised 3 children on the salary that she made. Exactly. Coming all the way across the country. And never once did she say, baby, I didn't eat today so that y'all can eat. Right. Never did she ever say that. It wasn't until, later on, she and I'm a grown woman and we're now friends and not daughter and mama. We're friends. And then that's when I learned that. I was like, I just never knew how you did that. All I thought was this woman can squeeze the hell out of a dime. Yeah. That's what I knew. She can keep all of this stuff rotating around every single day. Yeah. And I don't know how many of us parents never knew we were poor. We were probably poor as church mice, but our parents, our mothers, it was our mothers. We never knew that. Yeah. Because we had a meal every day when we sat down and even though you don't see anything in the cupboard, you're still getting food.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Gilbert, I want to say one thing regarding the women. I remember years ago, probably 12 years ago, I was in front of maybe 200 plus Latino leaders throughout the state of California. And they asked me a question. It was myself and some other gentlemen. They asked us, what are you going to do for women? And my colleague took the question because we were running for a position, statewide position. So I said, I defer to him first. And they went on about, I want to bring these programs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's all great. Came to me. I said, look, I have sisters, I have tias. I said, they've taught me. I said, they taught you what? Just get the hell out of the way. That's it. I said, women don't need my help. There's nothing. I said, I'm just going to get out of the way because I don't want to get run over. I don't like the word empower, where we're here to empower women. We're the only person who can empower you is yourself.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
So, to the women out there, you guys are badass.
True, man. That's true.
But you guys get it done.
Yeah.
Our organization is led by majority women.
That's true.
Majority women, and that's because they get the work done.
Do.
They get their hustle on. They know what to do, and they are no nonsense. They are no nonsense.
I must vouch for that, man. I can definitely vouch for that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to tell all the women out there is that you guys are wonderful. You don't need nobody to tell you, pat you on the back, any of that. I respect all of you. I admire all of you. You guys are amazing. And like I said, I sit back and let
them do their thing, man.
Because at the end of the day, if I get in their way or try to do anything, I'm gonna get run over.
You're a very smart man. Very smart man, Frank. Your TS taught you right.
Get out of the way.
When my nephew graduated from college and he came home and he wants to be a film director. So when he came home, I said, okay, I'm opening up my network. And I was told when I first started business 35 years ago, build your network first before you need it. And it will come in handy when it's time to start divvying out. So over the years, that's what I have as Sharon Evans says, I collect people. And that's what I've done over the 30 years, right? And you guys all know Sharon Evans, right? Yeah. So when he came home, I said, okay, so we need to get you connected, my brother. And so I started going through, I said, let me send the email out to this person. Let me send an email to this person, this person, this person, this person. He goes, Auntie, you bad.
You know what you are, and just piggybacking off of that, Crystal, is it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And your network determines your net worth.
That's right.
You don't realize that. And going along with that is your attitude determines your altitude, where you go in life, where you go in business. Because it's like this: if someone's looking to get some work done, they already know what they need. Yeah. You just got to prove it to them that I'm the one you need. Right. Because you're already looking for the equipment, hypothetically. So if you're already looking for it, I got it.
You got it.
Based off your relationships. And that's all business is all based on relationships.
Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it
is. And my motto is everybody knows I'd rather have 4 quarters over 100 pennies any day. And bumps and bruises in being a business owner and being a small business is sometimes every job and project is not the right one for you. No. Sometimes you have to go through trial and error because you can lose yourself and lose your business on one bad project. So sometimes you have to pick it and also, stay in your lane. Because if you stay in your lane, you get to where you're going faster. If it works for you, stay doing it. Sometimes people want to hop around and let me get into this. I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but you know what? Come on now, you have to be a master of something. You can't just be good at a lot of different things. I mean, well, it's good to be versatile, but at the same token, when you master a craft, you become a master. And then once you master that to a certain point, even though you still learn stuff every day, you can go on to the next thing. Because a lot of times you try to take on too much.
Take on too. And you build that network so that you have referrals over those areas that's not your expertise. That's what I have. I have partners that I refer to. If they're looking to be certified, that's not my area of expertise. That's Gilbert's area of expertise.
Gilbert
Go to Gilbert. Go to Gilbert.
Been doing this for decades. He's coming up with these platforms to be able to consolidate all your certifications, making everything easy for you, making it where you're not working harder, you're working smarter. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as a small business owner, sometimes you get lost in the shuffle. How can you work on your business when you're working in the business?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So sometimes you got to have a process, and you have to have people that support you, as you mentioned. Because if I don't know it, I know somebody who does.
That's right.
If I can't get it for you, I know somebody who can. Like for instance, if I don't have a particular piece of equipment, because I have access outside of aerial, I do toilets, fencing, K-rails, earth moving. I'm doing everything. I know I can get it from somebody else because my job is to make sure my customer's satisfied. And I don't make money all the time, but guess what? I want to take care of them because guess what? It'll come back down the line. It's about a relationship. It's about knowing even if I did take an L, you know what? I'll make it back on the back end.
Right.
But my customer knew I was there. I came through for them, and when it comes to contracts, it's all about time and money. You know what I mean? Anything, you can't be having a piece of equipment that break down and you got man hours, prevailing wage, guys sitting around for $75 an hour. You still got to pay them no matter what. You're getting some other issues. That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But you have to be on top of that. So my job and my responsibility is to take care of that. Let me provide you with equipment to help you complete the job. And, you worry about finishing the job on budget and on time. That's the main thing, because
exactly.
having an accounting background, it's all about the money at the end of the day.
Yeah. and providing the service, that's what I do. My business is all on customer service, offering the best service. That is actually my my unique value proposition is customer service, and that you can rely on exactly me offering consistency across the board. And if, like you said, if I don't have it, I know someone in my network does, and I will refer you to them. And they've been vetted before you get to them. So I'm not sending you to anybody that we gonna hear some back. I ain't gonna hear no feedback on the backside of it because I've already vetted them before you got to them.
Exactly. And Crystal, you've been consistent. Gilbert been consistent. I remember I was teaching classes at the Urban Lean because I used to do back office. They used to call me the lean queen. I did a little class, like I mentioned before, I'm part of NEMC on the board, and we did about preliminary notices, which is very important. So it was that about mechanics liens and things like that. Yeah. So, it's about being consistent. Gilbert has been around here. And once again, I just want to tell you, Gilbert, you finally convinced me. You've been like, trying to push you, Rakiyah, just like Crystal said, I want to put you out there. I'm like, no, Gilbert, let me just do my thing, just be in the cut, But, now I'm starting to see the importance of it and the relatability of, telling my story and having more young females that, was in the industry for a long time, who was probably a teen mom who had to go through trials and tribulations, that you can be a success.
Right.
You know what? And be something that someone can look up to and look at. Right. You know what I mean? So
you are such a shining light, man. I'm telling you, you do things somewhat like the status quo, but most of it is outside of the box, and I love that.
Right, exactly. Robin, you know Robin Thorne, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she has the demo chicks that she did. That's a program she provides for the kids to introduce them to the construction industry. You guys definitely need to work on young girls. But, I work with kids, teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. And I think that's so important, is giving our kids opportunities and pathways to their careers for their future, because they're not getting that at school.
They're not, unfortunately, and just something like this, getting them certified to use this type of equipment, that's something that they'll have with them. Okay, it's valid for 3 years, but that's something that they accomplished. There's their own personal accomplishment, even though that'll make them more valuable to the employer. But that's something they have under their belt. You know what I mean? They did that. They succeeded. They got certified in that, and that's their personal accomplishment that no one can take from them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And they need that because not everyone is equipped for college, and some of them just need, they have different. Everyone has a different skill set. Everyone has a different journey, and it may look like that. Your journey was different than my journey, and it's different from Frank's journey, and Frank's journey was different from ours. So, but our kids, you used to have construction. You used to have trades in schools. You do not have that, but those are entries to entrepreneurship. Yeah. Trades is the entry to a career of your own because it's teaching you how to do plumbing and construction and carpentry and so forth. I am going to give you a referral.
I totally
agree. There's a school, and we'll be over there this summer. We do Da Vinci, which is a school out in El Segundo. That is the most unique school I've encountered in Los Angeles County.
That's an LAUSD school.
It's
right?
an LAUS, but it's a charter school, and so the Da Vinci School provides. Within the school structure, they have a communications. They have a career. They're career driven. So there's for communications, there's for science, and there's for entrepreneurship. They actually have a construction program. In the summertime, they brought in someone to teach about carpentry. I think they do plumbing. The young lady, LaFay Baker, she does a program for girls. She's a stunt woman. She was one of the first Black stunt women. She's actually going to come in and do a program on how to be a stunt woman for the girls over there. They had an aeronautics program. So I'm going to introduce you to the program director over there. And introduce you because they're always looking for these kind of programs over at that school. And preparing their kids, and they have a very diverse population. I was involved in their career trades. It was called the career trade expo 2 weeks ago, and so they had the cosmetology, they had the armed forces over there. They had the automobile mechanics a group over there. I think they even had someone for painting automobiles. All these different unique crafts, and the kids were just in heaven because not all of them were going to go to college. And they do have, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, they do have those. And communications is their journalistic program. They have an architectural program. They have graphic program. They have all kinds of, every kind of industry cluster that is available for you to do business in. That's what they have over there.
Co-host, I've said this over and over again, right? If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't go to college to get my master's. What I would do, I'll do a 2-year college, and then I'll do a trade school. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where your money is at. You go into these 4 and 6 year colleges and having to pay back student loan, that's a ripoff. That's a scam. And I've told a lot of youngsters this. There's a lady from Edison that I was telling at our last event in October. I said, listen, man, your daughter, she is 16 right now. Let's groom her to become, something that she can make money off instead of going to college for 4 and 6 years, because all you're doing is paying back into a scam system that they never recognize you. You become an employee. You can never get rich being an employee. But as and see, Rakiyah is the exact testimony to this. She did her thing as an employee, and now she branched off into her own thing. She owned her own darn business. I don't know any other, not just female owned equipment rental, but I don't know any other equipment rental business doing as great as hers. You see what I'm saying? Not as great as hers.
Yeah, but no, you had to. So I kind of did that. I did the community college, and then I went From there, I went back into, I worked for 10 years into corporate America, and I worked in the industry that I wanted to go in, so I could see what a successful business looked like.
Right.
And then I went back to school and I went for certificates first for entrepreneur. That's what entrepreneurship. That's what I wanted to do. So I went to SC for that, but I found a grant to do that.
That's
so
how you got to do that.
I never incurred the cost, and then while I was working for that corporation, I had them send me back. I went back to school under them, and I went for my accounting degree. So I never paid all that kind of money.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, hey, I'm doing this for you guys. So that's how I learned how to do all of that. But no, I didn't come out with all that massive debt.
Yeah, and then with me personally is that, I'm not knocking, college or 4-year, 6-year university, all that good stuff. But I'll hire someone who has 4 to 6 years hands-on experience in this particular field, as opposed to someone just getting out of college.
There you go.
But they don't have any skills.
They don't have hands-on skills. They don't have human skills to know how to deal with a certain issue. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I'll hire someone with hands-on experience as opposed to someone fresh out of college.
Mr. Chairman, you wanted to say
degrees
something?
they look wonderful, but
No, I want to say that throughout the years in our educational system, we were told if we didn't go to college or university that we were worthless.
Yeah,
that's basically what we were told.
Yes.
And as a Latino going to the unified school district system, and even seeing my African American brothers and sisters, a lot of us weren't going to college. A lot of us were going to universities because we couldn't afford it. We had to get our hustle on early because we needed to help pay the bills.
Right.
If you wanted some shoes, you wanted clothes, you better go get that yourself. So I used to mow lawns since I was 12 years old.
Yes.
So I was never going to go to college. I was never going to go to university. I knew it from the gate.
Yeah.
The thing is, now there's such a lack of workforce in all industries. My industry, we had a help wanted sign for 3 years looking for a body tech, a painter. There's so few of them because those vocational trainings are not happening in the schools anymore. They're starting to come back now. And now the schools are saying, oh, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to university, because they saw their failure in that. It was a big, huge failure.
Yes.
So the thing is that I agree with all of you. Not everyone is built to go to university.
Right.
So my oldest son got his degree, was going to go to medical school, took a year off, then changed his mind. Now the third generation running this business.
Yeah.
But, he came out of there in debt. Couldn't find a job with his degree in psychology. He goes, Dad, there's no jobs out there, but you got all this debt. So then he was going to go to medical school, but he changed his mind and good, because the business continues.
Yes.
But the world is changing, and programs like this and letting the kids know, and I say kids, everybody's a kid to me now. That all you got to do is get your hustle on, your sweat equity, and just and do it.
And develop a skill. It's the skills that make the money. And so to your point, Rakiyah, here's the thing. I had a number of family members. They played football and they went on their 4 years college. They got a 4-year degree to go to college, right? When they came out, because the athletic programs don't allow you to do internships, and they don't allow you to have part-time jobs, you never ever actually get work experience. So when you come out of college, you have no work experience and you have no internships. So you've made no relationships. So finding jobs are even more difficult than someone else who would have done summer, at least even if you worked at McDonald's, you had cashier experience. Yeah. They had actually no experience at all. So you've done a disservice in far as customer service and all of those things. You never learned that. So the whole system is just not right, because you got to have working experience to be able to work. It ain't about the education. That's the theory.
Right.
It's not practical when you actually get into the work world. That's just theory. That teaches you discipline, and that teaches you how to research.
Right.
That's what it teaches you how to do. But it don't teach you how to actually work at a job.
Yeah.
It don't teach you critical thinking. It teaches you how to be critical, but it don't teach you how to. It don't teach you how to do nothing else.
Amazing.
Not a darn thing else. You cannot be a functional employee. All you know how to do is open the book.
Right.
And you also have to unlearn
stuff.
Okay.
And it also depends on who the profession was and how updated they were. Because if they weren't current on technology, and if they weren't current, if they've been teaching the same topic and the subject matter for the last 25 years, then you actually are behind, because they haven't stayed current with what's going on in the business world, in the world, period. They just been teaching you the same materials that they've been teaching since they got out of college. So
still teaching us that Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Yeah, there you go.
all these wild things that you look back and throw that book away.
And nobody was on this land when they got here. This land was desert when they got here, and they just were the very first human beings to appear. What did somebody tell me? And then we're gonna have to close up because my streaming is gonna tell me that, hey, but somebody said at the Thanksgiving dinner, you didn't see the king and queen here because they kicked you out of that country. They weren't there celebrating Thanksgiving dinner with you because they kicked you out of England. That tells you the whole story right there.
There it is.
But guys, it's been awesome. Thank you so much. This has been an incredible show. Frank, I'm going to have you on the community briefing because this conversation about the sustainable and the electric vehicles is amazing. Robin, if you're still here, we definitely going to have both of you come on. Rakiyah, go out there and tell your story, girl, because when you leave here, go over to your LinkedIn and change that to the owner.
I knew you would get a kick out of it, co-host. I knew you would. Because, even though she's on the show, she's all humble and she wants
forget that, girl. I'm humble too. But I tell folks what I do. And the reason I say this, because when I first met her, when she was at the company that I met her at, I went over there to help set up QuickBooks. Yeah. And she was the person, she was running the office at the time. Yeah. And so that's how we got it all set up. Yeah. She didn't come a long way from there.
Oh,
Go over to LinkedIn and tell your story, girl, because it's important. And for our young women today, they need to see a woman who started from where you did as office assistant and office manager to the owner of her own equipment rental place. And
which is so unique, man. So unique.
Yeah. It's not even the tools, man. She got these big old machines.
Man, I've never seen one of those booms that go up to 100 feet. Never. And she's got
120.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. Yeah.
That's like a 10-story building right there.
That is. Congratulations, girl. I am so proud of you.
Thank you, Crystal, Gilbert. Thank you, Frank, as well. You're amazing as well, Frank.
Like
I don't know if you remember
you guys need to connect. Both of you need to connect, man.
Well, have Rakiyah come to the event.
Yeah, on the 30th, right?
Actually, I will be there. I'm always there at all the procurement events. I'm there with NEMC. Like I mentioned, I'm a board member, so you'll see me at all the procurement events. We have a major one coming up at the gas company. Yeah. I'm everywhere, so you'll see me out there, Frank.
And it's right here off the 10 freeway, so it's close to you. And what we want to do, we want to make you an affiliate member of the Hispanic Coalition of Small Business. That's what we want to do with you. So we have 16 right now, and your organization will be the 17th. The NAMC, right? National
NAMC,
Association of Minority Contractors.
Southern California chapter, most definitely. That'll be amazing.
And then I'm gonna.
Good. I just want to say one thing. I do a lot of repair on the equipment side with Sunbelt, United Rentals.
There you go.
You are the only small business, woman-owned small business in that industry that I know. So congratulations. That's real male dominated, big corporate dominated. So keep doing it, girl.
Yeah. Before you go though, I want to ask you this. Have you been doing work with Edison or the gas company?
Well, actually, no, but I was handpicked to be part of the networking in a 101 at this big event they're having at the gas company.
You should be doing work with them because they need your kind of equipment. Because remember, they're out there doing, work on these buildings, and you see what I'm saying? They need
that's why I'm all at LAX. They have requirements, 20%, 25% for companies like mine. Yes. I'm a local, small local business certified. As mentioned, I've been at every project. I'm out there now. I've been at the APM for 3 years.
Yes.
Conrac, I did $2 million worth of business with them, supplying them with Postmaster concrete trucks and Toyota forklifts. So, I'm gonna put my story out there.
Yeah, we gotta get you connected.
Yeah, I'll introduce her. I'll send her over to Dennis. I'll send her information over to Dennis.
Yeah, beautiful.
But I'm gonna actually send you an invite. Have Stephen reach out to you, Rakiyah, to come on the community briefing as well.
Okay, good. I look forward to it.
Girl, we'll give you your flowers.
Yeah, we'll make sure everybody know what you're doing out there, girl.
And Mr. Chairman, we all know that you're the modern day Cesar Chavez, okay?
Yeah. No, I like it. He said, you're not going to give me my seat, I'm going to take it.
I'm going to take it.
My seat.
He's not even going to bring his folding chair. He gonna take somebody and kick them out and put them in his own seat.
I'll go in a chair. Move, get out the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, excuse me, that's my seat.
That's my seat, so that's even better.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Shoot.
I love it.
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna close the show out. Thank you guys so much. It's been an awesome way to kick off Financial Literacy Month.
Co-host, before you sign up, I want to say this to the audience, guys. This has been a great show. I know you guys are enjoying it because I see the comments in the chat. Just go ahead and like this show, like the video, and do a subscribe. Just subscribe. It's free. You don't have to pay any money. Just hit that subscription button so we can send you materials and notification every week to let you know when the show is coming on and when we have amazing guests like we did today. So just go ahead and do that and support our channel. This is our 8th year, guys, that we've been on this podcast. So our anniversary is coming up in July. Me and my co-host. So we're gonna, we're trying to do something special. Who knows? Maybe Frank, we'll do a podcast in your area in the Inland Empire.
Well, that could be pretty nice. All righty, guys. So have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully we have a dry one. I'll get to the tennis courts this weekend because they haven't for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And so enjoy your weekend, guys, and we will see you next Friday with another amazing guest. So stay tuned, and you can go over to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and find out who that is. So we'll see you guys. Have a fantastic one.
That's right.
So,
as a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.